Hai guys, selamat kembali di podcast kami episode pertama dari ADWO
Podcast.
So it's an honor for us at this first episode to bring you guys the best bass players in the world. One of the greatest in my old friend from Indonesia, Mr. Barry Likumahuwa.
Hello.
And of
Of
course,
course.
Robert Bubby Lewis.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Who doesn't know
The one
these
and
guys?
Nah.
Okay, so the first question is gonna be for you two. Okay, it's better be a solo or session player.
Is it better to be a solo or session
Yes,
player?
A and B.
Which one
A or
you
B,
choose?
go ahead.
You go first, man. You let the OG go first. The OG goes first.
No way.
Respect to the OGs.
Honestly, session.
Why?
Because you don't have to think that much. You can just enjoy the groove, and you can just like be in the zone. And, you know. You don't have to think about what song to choose. You don't have to say something to the crowd. Honestly, man, I would love to do just sessions. So please hire me.
Oh, are you missing those moments?
Of course. I
Wow.
miss those moments a lot. But nowadays, since being an established solo artist, it's great. Of course, it's wonderful. But I miss those days, to be honest. So if you have to choose, session all the way.
Boop.
How about you?
I mean, honestly, I like a little bit of both. I like to do sessions, I like working with different people, but I do love to perform because I get to, express all the stuff that's happening up here, and I like playing a million notes, man. I like holding down the groove sometimes, of course. Yes, it's our job, but I like playing a million notes as well. And so every opportunity I get to do either, I'm satisfied.
Nice.
Okay, so this is why I'm asking you guys this question is because these days I know you guys have been like doing these more than 20 years, right?
Guess.
Yeah, right? Then as a musician we have to think like, okay, at the first place we play, and then after that we gotta think what's next.
Mm-hmm.
And for me and for me myself to become a solo artist is something else, and it's a big leap
Yeah.
in our music career. And why I'm asking you is because are you like happy with your what you call it?
Current
Where
career
things
right
are
now.
now.
Like
Yeah.
steps right now.
Well, for me, of course, I'm happy. I'm
Who doesn't know Barry
thankful.
Likumahuwa?
I'm grateful, but if I can do this for the rest of my life, of course, everything's great. Everything's good. So I'm very grateful. I'm thankful for the opportunity that I've been for all the works that I've been doing. I'm just blessed. I love it.
Wow.
I'm happy.
If I may know, like, what drive you to do this?
We've been chatting.
A
Right,
lot.
yesterday
Yeah,
we've been
man.
chatting a lot, and
Yeah,
we
man.
got something in common, and it's about we truly believe, to quote the great Uncle Ben Parker,
That's it.
with great power, but we gotta change with great talent
Yep.
comes great responsibility.
That's
So
right.
That's what keeps it. Well, personally, that keeps me going, and
Yep.
I know Bubby is feeling the same way. That's what keeps us going because we know that we have a purpose.
Yep.
That's the purpose, and that's why we do what we do.
Yep.
Boop. Wow.
I mean, I feel the same way, man. I feel very blessed, and I don't take any opportunity that the Lord presents me for granted. Because as much as I may sometimes feel tired, or if I'm always on the go, there's somebody that has dreamed to do some of the things.
Yep.
And even for me, I mean, I have plenty of other dreams of things that I haven't experienced yet, but whether it comes or not, I'm still really grateful just for what I'm able to experience now, and I'll never be at a place where I'm too good or don't need to practice. I need practice right now. I need it all the time, but I don't ever want to take any opportunity for granted. And I'm grateful that I have a wife and my children. Well, Hannah, she's 1, so she has no idea, but I feel their support. You know what I mean? My wife has always been very supportive of me. She's been with me since before any of this. You know what I mean? Like back when I was 7 million pounds and you know,
Remember that era?
yeah, eating a bunch of pizza and buckets of fried chicken. But she's been with me through all of it.
Thick and thin.
Yeah, everything, man. Like before all of it, you know, and for her to still be supporting me to this day and pushing me, you know, and my daughter, I want to work hard so I can take my little girls to Disneyland. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like, I want to just keep going so I can, you know, for them. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Wow.
She's sweet.
Okay. My question is, why you choose a bass as your main instrument, guys? I mean, what moment that you? Oh, it's a profound time. Like, okay, I'm gonna be a bass player per se, then a guitar player or a drummer. I mean, like, what inspires you, and then the profound effect of being a musician
Well,
in a big league.
in short, it all started with my interest in wanting to play the drums. Actually, I
Ah.
always thought the bass was dope. I always thought the guitar was dope. The clarinet is one of my favorite instruments. The French horn, the English horn, the oboe. I love them all.
Uh-huh.
Right, the sitar, the peepa lute, everything.
You play one of them?
The erhu, everything. I like all of them.
Oh.
Every instrument, but I wanted to do drums. I thought that was cool. And long story short, my sister is a drummer, my oldest sister, and she told me go get Dave Weckel's music. So I started listening to Dave Weckel, and I came across the Synergy album.
Oh.
And on the song titled Synergy, Tom Kennedy, who was the
Okay,
bass
yeah.
player, did a solo in the intro of that song. And that blew my mind because, you know, I never really heard bass like that. And so that sparked it. And from there, here I am. You know what I mean? So yeah, bass, I love bass. I still like every instrument. You know, I like the kazoo, I like all of that. You know, I like every, hey man, it's all dope. The violin, the recorder, I like all that junk. The harp, but bass.
Nice. Well, for me, probably since I'm like in elementary school, like what, 9 years old? 10 years old?
9?
Yeah, I watched the performance of John Petrucci
Mm.
when he came to Jakarta, and it's like changed my whole concept of bass, because you know back then we only knew bass just the guy in the back.
The one
Yeah.
with Chikoria or
The one with Chikoria.
With Chikoria.
Yeah.
Wow,
Jack
man.
Jess, I think.
Electric band, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, you can do that with a bass. You can play chords. You can swing.
Solo
you can
and
solo. You
everything.
can slap. You can do all this
Yep.
stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's crazy good. I want to learn how to play that instrument. And from that day on, I choose bass. And but fun fact, way before that, back in probably like 3 years or 4 years before, I have all these action figures. You know, like I have the
Yeah.
Terminator. I have the Demolition
Oh,
Man.
of course.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I just
No
love,
wonder
I
you
just
guys-
love, right? I just love to place them and
Yep.
act as if it's my band.
Yep.
And I always, seriously, I always choose myself to play the
Imaginary
bass.
band.
Yeah. So I put them and I was
In
like,
the center.
right in the center. But you're the bass player. I was like, Barry Likumahuwa in his
Oh.
band.
Oh.
Limelight, boom.
Right. So it's this vision. I had that vision since like
Yeah.
way before I even know I want to play the bass.
Wow, and it's happening till today.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
So the next question is, over 24 years for you, as I recognize, is it like you play bass from 14?
Pretty much 24 years. 24 years I've been playing bass. 2001 is when it all started for me. And yeah, it's still crazy, man, how quick that time just kind of went by. I mean, there's no gray hairs and, you know, I mean, I don't have back problems and stuff like that. Thank the Lord.
Yeah.
You know, I got my energy and, you know, but it's been a long time. I'm enjoying the ride, you know, whatever comes, I guess, you know, yeah.
Is there any unforgettable moments, like since you play from the church and then you become a session artist, right? What you call it, like session
Oh,
artist,
okay.
and then until today people know you as a session and also a solo artist.
yeah.
Like, is there any unforgettable moment that makes you like wow, you can really forget about this one?
I mean, it's extremely difficult to narrow it down to just one, because I mean, I feel like every year of my life as a bass player, as a musician, there's been some sort of experience that was like, wow, you know what I mean? So it would be kind of hard for me to narrow that down. I mean, I guess it would be when I got my first professional situation, but then there's...
Who is it?
It was Snoop. That was my first gig ever.
First gig.
First gig was Snoop.
Snoop Dogg.
Hey, what a blessing! What a blessing!
But I mean, you know, there's other things. I mean, I've had jam sessions that were unforgettable with just random musicians that I never seen ever again. You know, like to me, it's more to it than just the glitz and glamour side of what people expect. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, anybody can, oh yeah, when I first got on a private jet, yeah, that's cool, but to me, it's like, nah, the first time I went to Belgium and had some real Belgian chocolate, you know, like something like that. It was like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. Or, you know, when I drank tap water in Iceland for the first time and stuff, you know, like that's the stuff that means something to me versus the first time I got a royalty check and all that. Money is whatever, but it's the other stuff that matters to me. You know what I mean? First time I was able to take my wife, you know, to another place like that, bring her when I brought her to Japan, you know, that's unforgettable, you know, that experience. It has nothing to do with, you know, awards, accolades, or anything. It's like the other stuff that matters to me. So yeah.
Wow, we can really see he's really enjoying his life in Japan.
Oh, big
How about you,
time.
Barry? Is there any like?
Well, again, same.
When you're in the same room with Andre, maybe?
Those days were like...
Those ways, we were on tour like for 10 years together.
It's too much to just narrow it down. It's hard, but this moment right here, it's going in books. Definitely, 100% for me because it's an unforgettable experience. But maybe one of the best and the most unforgettable moments for me would be meeting the late Glenn Fredly. He's a singer. Andre plays with him. Unfortunately, he left us in 2000.
If we still here and meet you, damn, we got
great singer, but
1 hour together.
Yeah, but the thing about him is he opened up so many doors for me personally, and he always pushed me through the boundaries. You know? Like back then, I figured myself only as a session player. But then he's one of the guys who actually told me like, you gotta go and do it now.
Do it, yeah.
Right. And then he pushed me to do arrangements. I never knew I can do arrangements back then. But he's one of the first guy who actually believes in me. And so probably that's the most.
That's awesome, man.
Wow, that's awesome.
Talking about that, what comes to your mind? Okay, after a session player, I'm gonna be a solo artist. I mean, like, did it come early in your career, or like
after how many years?
How many years? Like you're brave enough to be like, okay, damn it, I'm gonna make a solo album or an EP
because
or something.
sometimes become a session player is like a
comfort zone.
Yeah, a comfort zone maybe. Sometimes,
Well, I mean, I guess for me, I've always been a very adventurous type of person, you know. And I mean, I guess that's the comic books and stuff are to blame for that, you know, me being a nerd and Star Wars and all that kind of stuff. But the moment I began playing bass, I always would hear things that I wanted to play.
Okay.
You know, like I thank the Lord, I've always had a sharp ear. So even before I understood theory and all that kind of stuff, I could hear how to play over things. And I mean, I knew from the very beginning that I was gonna like soloing. I knew right 2 days into having my first bass, I knew I'm gonna be soloing. And funny thing is there's a story, I can't share who it is, but there was one time I was practicing in my room at home, and there was some people over the house, and somebody came in the room, and I was listening to John Patitucci, and they said, that's too advanced for you. You need to listen to some easier music. And I was, I just kind of just kept playing, and they said, you're going to discourage yourself, and you're going to end up giving up. There's no way you can play that type of stuff unless you go to school for music. And, John Patitucci has a degree in music, and, it might take, the craziest thing they said is it might take you 30, 40, or 50 years to even do the simplest thing that Patitucci does. You may never play like that.
Oh, man.
It's just horrible things to say.
It's discouraging, right?
But I was a teenager, so I didn't care about that. I'm 14, 15 years old. I literally looked at this person, looked them dead in the eye, and I said, nah, I'll get it. And it was maybe about like 5 months later, I was soloing over Giant Steps and Countdown.
5 months later?
Oh, yeah.
So you took that as a challenge.
Oh, yeah.
And you do Coltrane.
Because I could already hear it. I could already, even before I didn't even know how to use my fingers, but I could hear it. And I tell people all the time, if you can hear it, that's most of the battle right there. It's just a matter of having the technique and the ability to play it. But if you can hear the thing, that's it.
Right.
So yeah, I love being a session player. I do. I love being a solo player. I don't think one is better than the other, per se. It's just it's two opportunities to be responsible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
Nice.
How about you, Kaben?
For me, actually, I already have the vision. Just like I told you guys, I already have the
But
vision.
after how many years, finally you realize?
That was even before I played an instrument. So I have that vision. I always knew I wanted to be a musician because of my dad, of course, my late dad. But to finally find that confidence to be a solo artist, it took a while. But thankfully, again, because of Glenn, the late Glenn, he's the one that actually pushed me very hard to go that way. And back then it was difficult, right? Because no bass players ever released an album before. Back then we only have one guy probably. We have only Mas Hari Toledo back then. And then we have Bondan Prakoso releasing, but it's more into a pop scene, right? Pop scene. So my kind of music, our kind of music isn't that popular, even up until now, right? But to have that confidence and to actually do it, it's another story. But yeah, I have that vision way back, even before I grabbed any instrument. So I guess it's all in the vision.
Yeah, that's what it is, man.
One question I want to ask you guys. Sometimes a lot of friends ask me, do you kind of getting bored, like giving up playing music? Like sometimes you go in a rut, a situation like in a rut, and then like, oh damn, it's too much for me, and then no gigs and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of thing. Couple of friends asking me about that. Have you ever been to that place that you're going to a rut and then you feel like there's no gig for me,
like,
or
I think I'm quitting,
my skill is not improving and whatnot. Do you have like better? Do you have
All
that?
the time.
Bro.
Okay.
Of course. When going gets tough, but the tough gets going, right?
That's it.
So a couple of times I want to quit. I'd rather just take a daily job and just get a paycheck and everything. But again,
What drives you?
Again, back to the vision and the purpose. Like I truly believe that I was born to do this, and it will be irresponsible for me not to do this. Because somehow, even if it only affects like one people or one person or two people, I don't care. But at least I can make an impact in your life somehow. So that's the one thing that keeps me going. But to be discouraged is something normal, and to be at that phase like you want to give up. I think that's something great actually, because it takes you. It's like you're zooming out of your own life and you see what's going through with you, and you know which part of your life that you need to to repair, or even in the playing side, like a few years back I realized that there's some stuff in my playing that I personally don't like, so I need to change that, and that phase helps me to break through. For me.
Wow, amazing.
Perfect answer. I mean, I have to agree. I felt like giving up since day one. I mean, it doesn't even always necessarily have to be about if there's no gigs or money. It doesn't have to always be that.
Right,
Just
right.
sometimes you do get tired, but that's the enemy.
Right.
That's the enemy. And one thing I always tell people, and mostly young musicians, up and coming musicians, the minute you want to get in this industry and this music, you're gonna learn right away whether you have what it takes.
Right.
You're gonna know right off the bat if you have what it takes to stick in it, because there is no line of business, no career path that is just easy.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
impossible.
of course.
Like everybody they'll look at me, or they'll look at Andrew Goucher or whoever, Derek Hodge or Thundercat or whoever, and they're just like, they see a resume and stuff like that and all these years of this, that, and other, but dude, that doesn't mean nothing. It's the reason why I'm still here is because I have my own identity. The reason why Goucher is still doing what he's doing is because he's Andrew Goucher. He has his own identity. And when you really are able to find your own musical identity, your own musical personality, the minute you feel like giving up, it's like you almost tell yourself like, that's stupid.
Right.
You know that you have to do this,
Right.
because it's only one you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I felt like giving up recently I felt like giving up, earlier this year, but no, it's like, yeah, you can do it another day, and then you look up and you're glad that you didn't quit,
Right.
It would be such a horrible thing to quit, and then years later you're telling yourself like, man, I wonder where I would be if I would have kept going,
Yeah.
I would rather think to myself now, I wonder what life would be like if I would have quit 15 years
Right.
ago. Like, what would I be doing right now?
Right.
I'd rather think about that.
Mhm.
But the other way, like, oh man, I wonder if I would have never gave up, what would I be doing now, man?
Yeah.
You gotta stay in it. You have to. Yeah.
If I can add to that, it's funny. It's great that he mentioned about identity. I think that's the one thing that, as a musician, you need to have that.
Find
Because
your
right,
identity.
because for me personally, as a bass player, if I saw somebody like Bubby, and I think about it not musically but as technically, I'll give up. Just really, like,
We can.
honestly, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I can name like 10 Indonesian bass players way better than me. I can name like Shadow Rashidi, I can name Fajar, I can name Samuel Song,
Wow,
Satellite,
yes.
all the cats, man,
Yes.
way better than me. Kevin Yosua,
Yeah.
way better than me. But I know one thing for sure, that I have this identity that I know that I can play something that those guys can't,
Exactly.
and I don't have to be like them as well.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
and you see what brings me here. I can jam with Bubby. I can
That's
be
it.
friends with him. That's even more than music.
Mhm.
It's the connection.
It's
At the end of the
this
day.
is a conversation, man. Music is a complete. My bad. Music is a complete conversation, and you don't have to be Jocko to be considered a great bass player. You don't have
Yeah.
to be anyone. You just do what you do. There's plenty of amazing bass players that will never ever take a solo, but they're still killing.
Right.
Yeah.
And one of the greatest examples is Geddy Lee is one of my favorite bass
Of course.
players. Right?
Right.
Geddy Lee is one of my favorite bass players. John Patitucci is one of my favorite bass players. It's my hero, right? Geddy Lee is never gonna take a solo over Got a Match.
Of course.
It's not. It's just not gonna happen. He's not gonna take no solo over Spain or
Of course not.
But John Patitucci is not gonna be like, exit the warrior,
Of
mean
course
Tom
not.
Sawyer.
Right.
Like, he's not gonna get up there and sing and play bass and then play a foot bass
Foot
pedal.
bass with it.
He's not about to do that.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So, but neither one of them have to do that.
Right. Right.
they got the room to do whatever they want, and this is the beauty of it. Like when you see a lot of the OG musicians, you know, I love that, man. When I first started going to NAMM show, like I would see Marcus Miller hanging with, you know, Leland Sklar, you know, like night and day. You know what I mean? And then you would see Victor Wooten talking to, I don't know,
Hendrik Linder?
or like Bunny Brunel or something. You know what I mean? Or like
different world.
just super random. Or when Goucher and one of the craziest things I saw, Andrew Goucher, Marcus Miller, Victor Wooten, and who else was there? Bobby Vega. And they're just all just like talking like, hey man, you remember when da 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 da, and I'm just like, so me and like all the young guys are just looking like, dude, this is insane. You know, like these are like the pioneers. You know what I mean? But none of them sound alike. None of them play alike. None of them. So if they can be their own person musically and their own person, why can't we do it? You know?
Good.
That's the, I mean, why not? Why waste my time trying to play like anybody else? I don't want to play like nobody else. I'm going to dress how I want to dress. I'm going to eat what I'm going to eat.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Brazilian barbecue, man.
All right.
So inspiring. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Okay, what's you, for you guys, what's your desert island gear? I mean, like,
Your to-go gear.
like desert island gear.
Okay, if you don't have this and if
but
you can only
you're first, Bob.
Yeah.
Your desert island gear.
I mean, if I could just have one of my MTD bases, man, and if I have my Nintendo Switch.
You don't have to.
Just that, and then you're good to go everywhere.
Can my family be there with me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm good.
Of
Just
course.
one base. It doesn't matter which one of my
for the
bases.
gear, Nintendo Switch, and one of your MPDs.
It's one MTD. If I could bring my little, you know, tiny little GK amp, this pedal is cool. Give me, if I got some electricity on the island, I'm good. Yeah, Nintendo Switch. Got my wife and kids. I'm straight.
Alright.
How about you, Kameri?
Same with me. First with my son and my wife. That's the most important.
100%.
100%.
100.
Most important thing in my life. Probably just one bass is enough.
Yep.
I don't
Which
need anything
bass?
else. Bass. Well, if I have to choose, it will be my 1964 Fender Jazz bass.
I already have a 64. You have a 64?
64. That's the one that I own is 64.
The one that we play with the Super.
Yeah,
It's a good spell. In the spell, right?
It's a 64.
The Superman sticker?
Yes.
It's not a 74.
That's a 64. No, that's a 64.
Superman sticker?
Yeah, he's.
I was into Superman back then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So whenever you
But not
see
that much
it's
now.
Kameri's.
Yeah, but again.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, we're nearing the last question.
So last question is, do you have any messages for the youngsters or
Young
all the
musicians,
bases?
all the upcoming budding bases.
Yeah, just
that.
for me, find your own sound and just keep on doing what you do because nobody can sound like you, and you don't have to sound like anyone else,
Wow.
and you don't have to prove anything.
Yep.
Just do your music. Just have fun with it, and make sure that it will make an impact and an inspiration for others.
Yep.
That's it.
Robert?
And I'll piggyback off of that. Yeah, and the reason why it's so important for you to find your own sound, because if you do that, you'll find that you're never going to be in competition with anyone.
Man, it's really good.
If you really know who you are, you really got your own sound, you'll never be jealous of anyone. You'll never ever try and compete. The funniest thing to me is how people try to like put me up against my friends.
Versus thing.
Yeah,
right?
like,
Yeah.
hey
All
man,
the time.
All the time.
I went live on IG. Was it last week? And somebody was like, "Who's faster, you or I forgot who they asked me?" And I was just like, and I'm thinking to myself like,
What kind of question
that's
is that?
my friend. Like, man, what does it matter? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I think you're faster. What does that matter? you think that because you compliment me, like I'm supposed to be like, oh boy, thank you so much. No, I'm like, no, that still makes me feel uncomfortable because, you know, I'm who I am, and all of my friends in the music industry, all of my bass buddies, they're my buddies.
Right.
And I support everything they do. I love everything they do. I don't want to do what they do.
Yep.
And when they achieve something new, I'm right there. Man, this is dope. This is congratulations, you know. But you gotta really know what you're about and what you're doing. Have your own thing, and you'll never compete ever. Ever. It's not a sport, man. It's
not a race. Come on.
Yeah, it's not. This isn't basketball. It's
Wow.
Right.
It's expression. Music is expression, not basketball.
But it's fine for us to see you guys just now recording stuff. Is that you guys are keep producing songs? Is it? I mean, like for young players, to not just mimicking or you know, we call it cooling, you know, copying or covering.
Yeah.
I told my friend, like our guitar friends too, record your stuff too. Is it
I
for
mean,
you guys also?
I mean, I would highly recommend
Writing your own
trying
songs?
everything. You
Right,
know, like
right.
you'll find out once you try if it's your cup of tea or not. You know, not
Yeah.
everybody likes to write music. Not everybody
Yeah.
likes to arrange or produce or, you know, score films and
Right.
stuff. But try it
Right.
and see. You know, and then if you don't like it, you can, you know,
Something else, right?
do something else. Yeah.
All right.
Wow, it's very cool sharing, guys. And okay, because we're with Bubby. Okay, the last question. Any practice tips?
Any practice tips?
Do you
I
practice?
want to listen for this one.
Do you practice? You have a. That's like. Do you have a practice?
How can I be as fast as you?
So you want to know? You want to know something? I still do it. I love practicing in the dark.
I saw your lights always dark, right?
I love practicing in the dark. What I used to do is, I mean, I'm a nerd, man. I used to blindfold myself like I was a Ninja Turtle. Blindfold myself, and I would just sit and practice. And a lot of times when I play, I do look at my bass sometimes, but sometimes I don't, because I'm trying to just be aware of where everything is, based on just hearing it and the distance between notes, hearing it, you know, and just using my fingers. So yeah, if you've never practiced in the dark or blindfold before, give it a whirl, give it a shot. It's fun. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fun.
Wow. Okay then, guys. From now on, turn off your lamp and practice. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.